Everybody, welcome back to the Rediscover Your Stash YouTube hop. This month's March is using Chipboard. And I will admit, this is something I had bought, but I bought it before I knew what the chipboard was. So I am going to use it with my stash. This is from Brutus Monroe, and they're the rain boots. And I just wanted to show you, there's a couple pieces. There's like the belt and the buckles and the straps. And then there's the little buckle things here. I'm not going to show all of this on camera. I also have these already pre-done a little bit because I'm trying to get a very red. And so I started with a shimmer glaze, which there isn't a lot left of. If this may even be out of stock, but I want to use my stash. But it didn't quite give me, and that's what's giving me the kind of the red shimmeriness, not like the glossy, but the shimmer. So I wanted to be a little bit more red, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. And this is just some packaging of a product I got in the mail to help it from sticking. So I'm going to put that to the side. That's what I'm going to put it on to keep it from when it needs to dry. But I just have these chipboard. They're just brown. And I just wanted to show you what they kind of look like to start. And I'm just going to take this Chroma Mist. This is actually the Chroma Glaze from Brutus Monroe. I did not like gesso these or anything. I just put this on. And I've done a couple of layers. This is my third coat. I did one layer with the shimmer glaze. And now I did one with the Chroma Glaze earlier. I wanted to do one more just so you kind of get the idea of what I'm doing and how I'm doing them. I may try to grab a stencil pal or something to try to get rid of the lines. But I'm going to go heavily, kind of thick on this. And then I'm going to put these aside to dry. And then not sure what other Chroma Glazes, but I'm going to do that for the other pieces. They're either going to be red or black. I'm going to kind of peek at my daughter's photo that I have and see what color. I don't know what color the bottom of the boots are. Not that it matters, but I'm thinking they might be black. So I do have a black pearl Chroma Glaze that I'm going to do the exact same thing. It's the same thing, so I'm just not going to show it on camera. But let me see if I can find what this stencil pal thingy I was talking about. What I really want is just something to kind of, yeah, right here. I want something to be it's kind of the same so when I go across, I don't get any kind of really harsh lines. I'm trying to smooth it as smooth as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, but so it's as smooth as possible. So when it goes to dry, I don't have a lot of texture to the boots, because obviously these type of boots have a very glossy, shiny finish. So now I'm going to very carefully pick these up and put them off to dry, and I will come back when they are dry and start assembly and show you how I'm put them all together. All right? See you in a few. Remember, I showed you how I did the Chroma Glaze on top of my boots here, and I used the black pearl on the boot and the lip part. I will tell you that you need to make sure they're dry, because I started kind of storing them on top and it kind of went on top. I just wanted you to know that it's not going to affect how we do it, because I'm going to glue this on top, and if a little bit shows, we'll just cover it. And I'm just going to use some strong adhesive from my stash. This is Barely Arts glue. I love their glue. And I'm going to use fairly heavy amount just because. And I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to slip it right on there so that it covers that all up. Like I said, because I had it on there when it was wet, a little bit of it stuck there, but we're just going to cover it up with the other boot, and then we'll fix that little error. And then we'll do the same thing with the top. I do think that the picture of my daughter's boots, she's actually got blue, but I went with the black instead. I decided it was fine to make the black. I probably could have done blue, and we're just going to leave those. Now, I did a little bit of cutting off camera. I used my Cricut Extra to create this little fishing boots. I just used the plain old Cricut font and typed in fishing boots, made it to the size of my mat, and then I created an offset and printed it out. This is the pattern. This is part of the pattern paper we're using in the set. So, and then the other thing I did do off camera is this is the same paper. See, I did mat my card, or all my photos. So let's go ahead and get going on our project here. So this is some old paper from close to my heart. I've had it for a long, long time, and I just like that it had the blues and the blue that my daughter's wearing in her outfit, and the red from her boots. And you'll see her cousin is in there with some yellow boots in one of the photos. This is the one piece of paper, and this was the pattern paper that, you know, kind of matched with it. And I thought we would just go ahead and use that. So I just cut this down. I didn't even measure. I just kind of eyeballed. I can tell you how much it is in just a minute here. Now, I never used to use ATG gun in my scrapbook, but I don't know where any of my scrapbook adhesive is right now that I'd like to use up, so we're just going to use this. It is, what, 4 inches by 12 inches. And then we're just going to kind of eyeball it and make sure my paper is straight. And I'm just going to put it down here on the bottom. And that's just to break up some of that blue and give a little bit of color or lightness to the bottom. And then, like I said, I already have these cute little pictures of her catching her fish. And she's reeling it in. So I'm going to kind of lay these out like this. I'm going to lay them out first because I want to make sure all of the boots are showing. And then I will, after I get them laid out, then we'll add our other things in because I want to make sure it all fits. So I got my fishing. And see, I didn't want to do it because look, and it cuts off her cousin. So I want to make sure I rearrange this appropriately. So we may end up doing it more like this. Don't want her fish to be missing. So we're just going to kind of rearrange it a little bit so you can see the fish in the picture. I may end up cutting a little bit. Oh, see, I don't want her boots covered either. So it's kind of a funny, just fudging it around a little bit so that things can be seen. I mean, they can come down a little bit more here, and we'll go ahead and add those pictures in. So we've got our fishing boots, and then we're going to put our little boots down right here in the corner. I don't know if I'm going to add anything else to this right now, but I thought I would show you, kind of have it laid out. I need to maybe zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole layout. Sorry about that. I want to make sure you can see the whole thing, or most of the whole thing. Okay, so we're going to start the layering process here. Just trying to figure out how I want this. So I can do fishing and I can do boots. I can do them completely straight and then do kind of some oddball photos. So I'm thinking we'll pull this one down here. We'll pull this. Okay, I think this will work. Actually, I still kind of wanted to go like this, I think. And then, yeah, just like that. That one can be up here and it can be covering that. Okay, that works for me. So we're going to go ahead and start putting these down. I'm just going to use some adhesive. This, I'll tell you a little bit, the hop is Rediscover Your Stash hop. And this month is Chipboard, where we go in and use products from our stash. Now, I will say the Chipboard was new, but I got the Chipboard before I didn't order it specifically for this. I'm going to cut that off. I've never really done that before, but I think we're going to do that. I didn't buy it for this, but I did order it, and then I just found out we were doing chipboard, and I thought, that's perfect. I'm going to use this. So I thought that would be a fun way to do it. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add these. See, now I'm just going to use each photo to make sure we have them. I don't want to cover any of her boots. And then I think because I'm going to cover down up here, we're going to put this one down next. So, oh my, I don't know how even old she is in this picture. She might be in kindergarten. I'm thinking the latest she'd be in is kindergarten in this photo. I'm going to put it off just a little bit because since I cut off a corner of that other one, I want to cut off a corner of this one, so it's not the only photo that's cut. Her niece is obviously, her cousin is obviously quite little in this photo. So, I mean, they're all so grown up now. That's crazy. And then we're going to just put this one in, I think, like this. We're not covering up that fish. And then I'm going to go ahead and quickly put some tape down. I don't need a ton of tape on this, on the wording, because it's very light cardstock. This is like, you know, like 65-pound cardstock, and it will stay very good. So you don't have to, I don't have to put a lot down. And I am going to go ahead and do a little bit of an angle. I'm going to put it as far over as I can so you can still see her little fish in the water there. And what I can do is I can take my little tiny glue bottle here, if I have spots, and just squirt a little bit in and stick it down if that annoys me. I don't like to use liquid glue in my scrapbook layouts if I can help it. I like to use tape runner. Usually I use like squares and stuff like that, but I'm not 100% sure where they are right now. So just make sure the tops and bottoms of the layers kind of get enough so that they stick. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this as close as an angle as I can to the same. We'll rub off that extra. That's the nice thing about using this. So yep, I can just go in here and scoop just a little bit of liquid adhesive right there, just to make sure it stays. I'll put a little bit here, and it will stay down. All right, and then we have our boots here, and we're gonna put this one down first. I'm gonna use both some tape runner and some liquid adhesive because this is so chunky. I wanna make sure it stays. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of each. Not, you know, we don't need a lot. And I'm gonna use each of them. I'm gonna stick this one and I'm gonna go like this and just see. Yep, I'm gonna overlap them just a bit. Stick that down. I'm gonna hold it for just a minute. Make sure it sticks good, and then we'll do this one. And then I have to decide if there's anything else. I do have some fun fishing dies that I just got not too long ago, and I have not used them. And so I may pull some of those out and cut some off screen, and then I'll come back and add those pieces as well. But I have to see if I can find them. All right, then we got our fishing boots like this. I'm gonna go ahead and hold that down because they're overlapping each other. I could have probably popped this one up, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much because it will be in that page protector and it will hold it down. And last but not least, we're gonna flip this over and grab my big scissors and cut off the end. And, oh, I just hit the camera. I'm sorry about that. And there we go. There is my chipboard. I'm going to get real close here and just kind of take the camera and show you guys. It looks like my camera turned on me, so I may have to flip this. But I just wanted you to see all of that. I really hope this video did turn out and I did not flip the camera the wrong way. Thanks for joining me. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like, and I will see you next month. Okay, I went and got the Rod and Reel Lovely Layers from Honeybee. It's this fabulous stamp set or die set, and I cut out the rod, the reel, some fish, and a bobber, and I thought I would add that to this just to add some extra fun to my card. I'm gonna just kind of add it in here. I think I'm gonna put the fishing rod right through the middle here, and we're gonna add the fishing line down below. And we're just gonna add it kind of in. And then I've got my little bobber here, which we'll put on the line. And then I've got a fish here. Now what I was trying to decide is if I wanted to put the red reel on here because she's kind of got like a red one there, and I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna quickly get that done. Like I said, there's just a couple of layers to this. It was super simple. The rod has the little reel part that has the holes, and I'm gonna layer that all up. And it's got the grip, and then there's the line, which is very tiny there. So we're gonna kind of just put this here because we need to put the line down first. And the line is gonna be very tricky because it's very thin. And I could use different types of glue dots, but I'm really just gonna add just a little bit of glue to it in a couple of spots. And I'm not gonna worry terribly much about it because I said once it's in the scrapbook, it's gonna be just fine. So I'm gonna put that down first. And I'm just gonna kind of put it right in here. I don't want it to obviously, I'm just gonna put it right in there. And obviously anything with the extra glue, I'm just gonna go in and dab up. And then we're gonna add our fishing pole right on top. And you don't need, like I said, a ton of glue, just a little bit here, in particular at the tips and at the base. And it will pretty much hold it in place. You could use a tongs or tweezers, but I'm just gonna go ahead and plop it right in and put it down. And then I've got this fun fish that I can just put right on. I mean, instead of cloning with the S, I'm gonna have the fish kind of go up over the air and kind of like it's snapped out of here and cover up the S a little bit. And then I've got this fun little bobber because she did have a tiny little bobber on her thing. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue right there and put that on right there. Now I do have a couple other fish and I think I'm just gonna add them here in the corners just to add a little bit more fun color to the fact that she caught a fish here. I don't know if this was her first fish she ever caught or anything, but I thought it would be kind of fun. So I'm just gonna kind of add them to as a little bit extra shimmer and shine. And that is going to call it. That is going to be it for this layout. So I will link anything down below. Anything that is linked down below is an affiliate link, which just means there's no cost for you. But if you do place an order using one of those links, I get a small kickback, and that is how I keep my channel moving and bringing you content. So you can click on the hashtag to see the rest of the hop. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thanks for joining us. Bye.